So how are our friends in the SEC taking the news that a Big 12 school has once again upset the apple cart and once again taken away what they think is their birthright, five-star recruits from the South? Well, they're in complete shambles. And they should be. They should be. But it should not be surprising how the SEC has reacted to all of this. It has been much the same as what I just showed you a minute ago from our friend T-Duck, the Oregon fan in here. T-Duck, tech buying players is unfair. Similar kind of reaction from SEC country that we saw today and really this week, because it's been a story that's been brewing this week. It got out with Steve Wiltfong earlier in the week that he predicted Texas Tech to land Guyton, the five-star edge, LaDainian Guyton, number one prospect in the 2027 class. So everyone knew this was coming because this is how it's gone, right? It's how it went with Ojo. It's how it's going now with Guyton, and it's what's firing up with five-star offensive tackle Cooper Hackett, who is another one that looks to be the next that's coming. Like, this is how it works, man. I know you might look at Texas Tech and scoff a little bit, but when Tech starts coming now, you better say goodbye to your recruit because they're landing him. And in this case, the most offended, the most upset are Georgia, Tennessee, and South Carolina, because they were the three that were most in on LaDainian Guyton, especially Georgia. Okay, especially Georgia. And remember, for SEC fans, like, they are really having to get used to this with Tech, not even just because of everything I've talked about with football. Texas Tech dominated the softball portal and like completely threw the axis of power off balance in softball without, I mean, they had, it was like four of the top six in the softball portal at one point there. Texas Tech was going crazy with that. And so you had SEC being a big softball and baseball centric conference. They were not thrilled about that. There was a huge uproar about that. Then Texas Tech lands the number one class in the football portal, one or two, depending on where you're looking. And SEC fans are looking around like, what the hell is this? How is Texas Tech doing this? Then they take a five-star offensive tackle away from Texas. Now they're taking a five-star edge, the number one player in 27, away from Georgia. And lots of SEC fans are not happy about it. Here's one. This is even an example of the great SEC camaraderie that we see out there. LSU, an LSU fan, taking major offense at what it is that Texas Tech is doing, okay? Here's what your LSU fan has to say, according to Message Board Geniuses. Thank you for this. Guyton heading to Texas Tech today is a breaking point in recruiting. We have hit a breaking point in recruiting, people. Number one overall prospect in Georgia. No number one overall prospect in Georgia ever dreams of going to play in Lubbock, Texas, and Tech. Not that it hasn't already been, but this is out of hand. I mean, isn't it funny when it's just the traditional powers don't win every single last thing, so this is out of hand. It's such a funny attitude that our friends in the SEC have about all this. If it's not me, if it's not us, or any of the like 4 or 5 outside of us that generally can compete, well, then it's simply not fair. If it's not rigged toward us, then this thing isn't fair. I mean, it seems like we have a lot of that sort of attitude these days, and it has very much permeated the SEC, which is crazy. Also, interesting to take the shot at Lubbock there, which is very predictable. But I looked this up, people. Baton Rouge, Louisiana, not exactly like a hotbed of where kids want to go. Like, it's not Austin, Texas. All right. Like, acting like Baton Rouge, Louisiana, if not for the history of LSU football, would be some place that kids would like dream of being. Baton Rouge, Louisiana is actually 50,000 people smaller than Lubbock, Texas. Lubbock, Texas has 50,000 plus more in its population than Baton Rouge. Okay. How about that? College football season is here, guys, and that means we all need to find good deals on tickets, all right? And the best place to do that is SeatGeek. I have to give a huge shout out to SeatGeek, the sponsor of today's video. With over 28 million downloads, SeatGeek is the number one rated ticketing app. There are over 70,000 events listed on SeatGeek. So obviously, college football is covered, but if you're a music guy like me, it's perfect for concerts. I'm buying a ton of concert tickets this fall. And I tell you what, I have my eye on those Holy War tickets for BYU and Utah coming up as well. And man, all you got to do is open up the app. It's perfect. You can go check what's going on here, find the green dots in the seat. That means they're good deals. Red dots, maybe not so much, but SeatGeek will help you find the best deals on seats depending on where it is that you are trying to sit. They're each rated on a scale of 1 to 10. Every ticket is backed by their buyer guarantee. And you guys know I'm here for you. I've got a code for you. Code Kurtz gets you $20 off your tickets. Again, that's code Kurtz for $20 off tickets at SeatGeek. $20 off your first purchase with promo code Kurtz. Make sure you just click the link in the description to download the app and have that code on hand and ready to go. Guys, I'm here to help you out. I've got your back. Hit up my friends at SeatGeek. And yeah, this is where that type of attitude that you're seeing there is, I'll revert back to, does this lead to the SEC being like, hey, maybe fair market value is a great thing, and we want everybody to be working on basically the same type of cap here. Maybe it's, let's make them employees, let's collectively bargain, and let's get a salary cap so that we can retain all the advantages again, because they'll want to come play for us because of tradition and the NFL pipeline and all of that, and we can take away money being a great equalizer. All very much the spoiled rich kid attitude at the end of the day, man. Spoiled rich kid thinks he should get everything. No kid should have anything else. He is forced to share one of his many toys, and he throws a fit because he's not used to that. Nobody's ever told him that before. That's not what's happened. Now, I'm not a parent, but I'm sure there are a lot of parents who can relate to seeing that happen with, I mean, hopefully not your kid, but friends' kids or other people's kids that you encounter. The spoiled rich kid had to share a toy for once and does not like it at all. Does not like it at all. If you want to see the reaction of actual Georgia fans, here's an actual Georgia fan for you. Once again, thank you to Message Board Geniuses for helping us out with this one. Just my screen here for you. This one from Dog628. This is something that really pisses me off about the sport. This kid hasn't even played his junior year of high school yet, but he's about to make millions of dollars without even giving a look to other programs. Well, that doesn't seem fair. It feels like he's given a look to other programs, but I can fathom losing recruits to Bama, Texas, etc. But Texas Tech simply has a blank checkbook where they will spend and spend and spend. No kid from Savannah, Georgia ever dreams of going to Texas Tech. Sport is ruined. Sport is ruined. Boy, somebody a little salty that Georgia didn't even get to the national championship game this past year. Been a rough couple of years for the Dogs ever since that game against TCU, and now losing recruits to Texas Tech. Boy, the sport is ruined. This sport, college football, that we love for the zaniness and the fact that there is this environment of like, hey, anybody, any given Saturday can generally beat somebody. That's why we love the sport. But it's completely ruined because Texas Tech can land some 5-star recruits by paying players. I'm not even going down the road of like, how long have SEC schools been paying players under the table? But man, in a game that has been rigged, it's like playing the house. Like if you've been in any league other than the SEC for the last 20 years, it's kind of like going to the casino. Like you're playing against the house. They've got an edge. Everything is tilted in their advantage. You're going to wind up over time basically losing because things are tilted in their advantage. And you take back one little percentage point or 2 percentage points of that edge with what Texas has been doing by landing a 5-star edge. Didn't even plan that. And they throw a fit. They throw a fit. It's quite entertaining to watch. It is quite entertaining to watch. And it is interesting that it's like the goalposts that move from SEC country here too, right? Because you see a lot of people talking down to the Big 12 from SEC country saying like, I mean, well, come on. Like you don't have the blue chip recruits or the NFL players to compete with us. And that's why your league is inferior. And so then Texas Tech is like, all right, bet. We'll go get some 5-star players. We'll go get some guys headed to the NFL. And they go do that by playing within the rules, doing it perfectly legally. And then the SEC reaction is like, whoa. Well, I mean, not like that. We didn't mean do that. We didn't mean take players from us. When we taunted you and said you don't have any good players, and then you went and took players from us. That's not how this works. You can't do that. Look, this is a great like David Goliath moment, like underdog story here. And I know, look, Big 12 fans, I know Tech fans are a very proud fan base. Can it be a little annoying sometimes on Twitter with the attitudes there for a program that has not won more than 9 games since Mike Leach was there in 2009 and Barack Obama had just taken office? Yes, it can. But when you really take a step back to think about it, this is a great kind of underdog story here and what is happening. And if you're a Big 12 fan, your school is very much more in the mold of Texas Tech than it is Georgia. So I don't know, man. Pull up a seat, enjoy it. Pull up the popcorn, pull out the popcorn, and enjoy it. That would be my advice to you, and it is certainly my reaction to this. Okay, we've got a couple other super chats here. Kim, one of our resident Texas Tech fans, appreciate you being here, Kim. Kim says, okay, let's all take a breath. Nobody is a bigger Tech homer than me, but we need to win a title instead of just going to another Big 12 leading 43rd bowl game. Right, Kat? Well, yes, and I did, Kim. I slipped that in at one point. I said, hey, like Tech does need to back this up and win for sure. But really, like, if we're talking about winning a Big 12 title, somebody does that every single year, and it doesn't get the SEC's attention like this. It doesn't create a stir and create a story in college football like this. So what Tech has done, regardless of what happens on the field this year, has been in a lot of ways more significant than anybody who has won a Big 12 title for a very long time, just by nature of the dynamics of the sport right now and like what this can mean big picture wise. But yes, does it fall much more hollow and on deaf ears and not become as big of a story if Tech doesn't back it up and win this year? Absolutely. Absolutely it does. I mean, there's a ton. I love Joey McGuire. I'm sure it's really exciting right now to be the head coach at Texas Tech, but there is a lot of pressure. I mean, there's going to be a lot of pressure on that dude to deliver this year, not just for his own job security and his own fan base, but like I said, you're kind of looking at Big 12, big chunk of the ACC, any school that is not one of the, really any school that's not one of the top like 4 or 5 in the SEC or the Big 10, you're kind of looking at it like, hey guys, like go do it. Prove that we can. Prove that schools of our caliber can do this.